totally agree with that, Natasha. I believe that's the answer. I believe that's been the answer forever, because we have been going out voting. We have been voting for people that say they have the interests of our community. They've come to tea and conversation for years now, sit at the table, and give us just what we think they're gonna give us, period. And once they're there, that's the bottom line. If I hear hold accountable again, I'm just gonna spit. We need to just remove that word, because we don't do that. That does not happen, period. And I believe that the people that have gone out and vote, these working people, the work people on the back streets and so on and so forth, those people have their everyday lives and don't have no desire to go down there and bother those people that's doing nothing for them. They working and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, the majority of the time, our community gets absolutely nothing. I am Candy Lowe, Candy Lowe Tea Time, Tea and Conversation, and I'm so happy and grateful that everyone is here today. We're gonna have to wrap up now. Country Kitchen is where we are having our Tea and Conversation every second and fourth Saturday of the month, 2910 Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. See you in 2 weeks right here, Tea and Conversation. Thank you so much, everybody.
When did I make it the third?
From HUD about a month ago. And HUD was in town a month ago, walking with the CEO of Hillsborough Housing Initiative, and nobody said a word. $800,000 is gone. So people that's in transitional housing, women's that's in shelter, the Salvation Army, the Springs, Alpha House, they're without resources, as the mayor has just endorsed spending $35 million for a city park. These are some of the things that is happening to us right in front of our face. And the second thing I want to bring to your attention is right here in this community, the Housing Authority about 9 years ago presented first-time home ownership to women and families that wanted to move into the American dream. They received a $35 million grant from HUD, and about 2 blocks from here they built single-family homes. They sold some of those houses for as low as $165,000 to $180,000. Now those houses is worth less than $6,000 because of Chinese drywall.
Right.
Yeah. And everybody know it. The city know it, the county know it, the housing authority know it. But because these women are without political power, it is just in their laps to deal with by themselves. And I want to raise that this is our Flint, Michigan crisis, that right now we have families that are suffering. The housing authority, the county is allowing now investors to buy these properties that has been foreclosed on, and it's now re-renting these houses back out through the Section 8 program. We got 7 Democrats that's over the city council, and nobody's opening their mouth and raising their voices. We got a Democratic mayor that know that the county lost $800,000 and he's only willing to invest $50,000 to a homeless initiative. So I'm hoping that we keep this energy going, and even after the election, we continue to, as Mr. Roussan said, speak truth to power. Thank you.
I'm running for clerk of the circuit court. I want to bring my pro-consumer advocacy to the clerk of the court system. This job is in charge of the entire legal system. There's 700 employees. There's a clerk in just about every courtroom. They take all the documents that you file if you ever have a lawsuit or anything that's been filed against you. But the thing is there's a lot that the clerk can do that they're not doing that can help people. Just real quick, I'll make this story real brief, but there was a lady that a TV station contacted me about a year ago. She had her car in the repair shop for more than a year. She was an elderly woman. She felt powerless to get her car from the shop. The TV station came to me, asked what we could do to settle the dispute. I said, what you do when you have a dispute over property is you take the money in dispute and you bring it to the clerk of the court, you put it in the clerk's registry, they give you a certificate for the release of the property, which can be enforced by a sheriff's deputy, so there's no violence, no fear of violence, and then the property comes back to the person, and then the business has 60 days to appeal to the clerk's office, bring a small claim to get their money. 99% of the time, if it's a scam like this was, that will not happen. But the point is that people don't know about this stuff. We need to put it on the website. I want to make videos to show people. We're a very visual society. A lot of us don't want to read pages and pages of legal stuff. I will promise that I'll put videos on there to show people of 2-3 minutes that they can watch what to do in court, how to file a small claim, how to get your property back, dissolution of marriage. All of that is very important. That's what I stand for, and that's what I hope to earn your support so I can bring that to the legal system. Again, it's Eric Seidel. Some people know me as consumer lawyer Eric Seidel, running for Clerk of Circuit Court.
Good. My name is Walter L. Smith II, and I am running for House District 61 House of Representatives. I am a civil and environmental engineer. I've been practicing environmental engineering for 16 years. I can tell you now that I've worked in this community for just as long. I have worked and consistently worked with grassroots in terms of doing vocational training in non-traditional areas. I've written the curriculum that helps the people to get the types of jobs they need to have to be more employable. For instance, things like OSHA, hazmat, and hazwalk training, MSHA, to go to the mines and be able to do surface mining. Those are the initial phases of things they can have right now in order to get those jobs that will give them the types of salaries like $15 an hour that we've been looking for, $18 an hour that we're looking for at entry levels. When we talk about education, I'm trying to do the best I can to eliminate the school to prison pipeline. We've got to do something about it. On my radio show on the Sunday Forum, we've spoken about it 1 billion times. I've done everything I can to get the information out as much as I possibly can to the community. One of the things that can help out, number one, is making sure that we get to these kids early. We got to do early education with the children. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is we got to get parents more involved. Okay, that's going to be very critical. The third thing is we got to expand vocational education. If we don't expand vocational education, that doesn't give anybody any opportunities to do what? Get the jobs they need to have. That's going to help to transform our communities. That's going to transform our economic base. The other thing I want to do is I want to establish types of partnerships with nonprofit and actually for-profit business sectors. If we don't do that, then what we're going to see is more of the same in terms of our economic growth in our communities, and that's zero. Okay? We have how many black businesses that have started already, and how many of them fail in the first year? The dollar stays in the black community for 6 minutes, literally. We got to do something about that. The next issue is we have to start looking at the issue of development. TBX isn't going to do us any good. We got to start doing something about our transit lines. People have to get from point A to point B successfully without difficulty. Sure, are there going to be some difficulties? Yes. Is it going to take some time to establish it? Yes. But the money they're going to spend on TBX is the type of money they can be spending on these transit lines right here on the ground. My candidacy is about boots on the ground work. It's been that way for 16 years. This isn't something I've just been doing. It's been lights, camera, action the entire time. This is not a joke. This is not a candidacy for something that's a joke that's passing by. This is not just a campaign. What I'm starting here is a movement. This is what we need in order to survive. This is what we need in order to transform our communities, to get the things we need to have happen in our communities. If you want to change what's in the community going on right now, you got to change the condition.
All right.
To change the condition, we have to find out what those root causes are and attack them. And if we don't organize ourselves appropriately, I hope everybody's listening to me very carefully. When we come back from the legislature in Tallahassee, somebody has to have his hands on the pulse of the communities that he's going to represent. He has to know what's going on at that baseball field, how much money they need to legislate that. Make sure that the city is giving them the money they're supposed to give them. But not only that, if the city's not doing it, then the legislature has to make sure that all of our parks are funded. What does that do? That expands jobs, doesn't it? That makes our communities look better. It gives our children something more to do. We have to put these vocational programs in some of those parks, like Woodland Terrace. If we put those programs in those areas like Woodland Terrace, then what happens? We transform a community. So folks, I'm gonna sit down, because I can tell you right now, I don't like doing a lot of talking, because I always say, I can show you, better than I can tell you.
All right.
In the state of Florida, we have something called single-member districts. Right. Single-member districts change our communities, changed our neighborhoods. Because there used to be a time when it was nobody that looked like you sitting in the legislature, sitting in city council, county commissioner. What single member district did, they created districts that were majority blacks where you can get black folks elected. Now that was the beginning. We've had one black on city council, one black county commissioner, one black school board, one black state house, one black state senate. That's what single member district did. In Pinellas, I'm gonna keep referring to Pinellas because that's one thing they got right. They got people running for every slot outside the district that looks like you. So it's not impossible. You know somebody in your community, somebody in your neighborhood who may be as good or better than anybody that's been elected. You gotta stand up and run. You gotta stand up and make a difference so this can take the next step. Because it can stay one forever. It's been like that for 50 years. So I'm telling you, you know, run outside of that single member district. Because we need candidates. If you're gonna change this community, you can't do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Like Herman Cain said, 9, 9, 9, 9. Okay, we can't keep doing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. We gotta expand the community and the influence within the community. Because again, we're gonna make this a better community. If we're gonna make this a better town, it's gonna be the next greatest city, then this community gotta get involved in politics. Because every dollar that's significant in this city, in this county, comes through those elected officials. And if it don't come through them the first time, it comes through them the second time. So we need more folks from the community involved in politics in this county. So again, my quest is not for me. My quest is for the community to get more folks involved. Because you know that we can do this, we can make this happen. So again, get involved, show up and vote, and run outside those districts. Because we got 4 or 5 blacks running for the same slot. And we do that every cycle. Nothing against the folks running for those slots, but you got slots open. You got 7 seats on city council. You got 7 seats on the school board. Expand your vision. Think outside the box. Don't vote and run just for those black slots. I'm telling you.
But I also want to say thank you so much for coming out to Tea and Conversation, where we're here every second and fourth Saturday of every month from 10 a.m. to noon. And Country Kitchen, that has been an awesome supporter of mine for many, many years, even when they were over on Hillsborough. At 2910 Dr. Martin Luther King, in the middle of the hood, that I love so much. I love so much. And I'm so grateful for all of the candidates that came out. And you know where you're going, right on the Facebook page. All righty. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out.
Thank you, Ken.